Allowing yourself to be fully present in this moment, no matter what you may be experiencing in this moment. And noticing the simple fact that you're here in this moment. Whether you're listening to this meditation, or whether you're daydreaming, or sitting there and planning your garden, just being present with those experiences. Your presence or being is always there. It's the constant. It's always and already there. It's simply overlooked or not recognized. So in this meditation practice, we're stepping back and recognizing this always and already existing essential being or presence. Usually the content of our experiences becomes our sole focus, overshadowing our inherent being. For example, when we feel anxious, that anxiety consumes our awareness. When we walk down the street, sights, sounds, textures dominate our attention, and our presence or essential being fades into the background. Taking this time in meditation, it's a practice that allows us to reverse this usual process of how we relate to our experiences. So rather than letting our experiences dominate our awareness and overshadow our sense of being, instead of getting caught up in the constant stream of thoughts, emotions, and sensations, which can really just simply leave us feeling fragmented and disconnected from our true essence. Instead, we're intentionally shifting our focus from the content, regardless of what it is, from the content of our experience to the sense of beingness that's in the background. It can almost feel like a stepping back from the activity and movement of the content of our experience, and stepping back into this sense of awareness or beingness. That which knows the content. Sometimes I call it the silent, still presence. Because we spend the vast majority of our time absorbed in the content of our experiences, it might feel challenging or foreign to step back and sense into our beingness. Perhaps a couple of pointers might be of assistance. Can sense into the space around the breath, if you find that helpful. Rather than bringing attention to the direct sensations, which is more content. We're sensing into that space within which the breath arises and falls on the exhale. And remembering that we don't have to create or conjure up this still silent presence or beingness. We can kind of more or less relax into it, drop into it, step back into it. It can't be grasped or achieved by the egoic self. In fact, any attempts at grasping, achieving, or creating by the egoic self is simply an obstacle to sensing into it. It's allowing beingness to reveal itself instead of allowing experiences to consume our attention, allowing the space for our being to emerge and reveal itself. We're not rejecting or turning away from our experiences, rather we're observing them with a sense of non-identification or detachment. Cultivating this greater awareness of our essential nature. As we sit quietly, bringing our attention inward, allowing the essence of our being to come to the forefront, letting go of our perhaps habitual patterns and thoughts about who we think we are, thoughts about the roles we play, stories we tell ourselves, different judgments we might hold. Allowing the layers of conditioning to fall away. Stepping back into a deeper and more authentic sense of our being. This bare presence, which is always beneath the surface, is often overlooked. We may go through countless experiences without recognizing that there's an open space of quiet presence within us. And it's not just another experience we're having, rather it's the very fabric of our being. This open space of awareness is who we are, beyond all the surface level ideas and conceptualizations that we might identify with. Gradually sinking deeper into this open space of quiet presence, becoming more attuned to our beingness. As we settle in this way, we learn to recognize it, see this unchanging aspect of ourselves that exists beyond the fluctuations of thoughts and emotions and sensations and perceptions and so on. As we rest from perpetual doing, realizing that this open space of presence is always accessible to us, regardless of what's happening in our lives. It's also accessible in this moment as we sit quietly here. And if there's still a lot of content, a lot of thoughts arising, that's fine too. It's simply what's happening. Even with content arising, we can step back from that and be the space within which all the activity and content occurs. So we're no longer confined or defined by the content. Instead, we're recognizing this essential nature that's vast and boundless and unaffected by the transient, fleeting nature of content such as thoughts, sensations. The more we spend time in this space, we can live from this place of deep knowing and authenticity. So meditation is simply an opportunity to reconnect with this open space of presence again and again. Each time we sit, we have the chance to connect with our essential being. It's through this practice that we can experience the profound truth that our essence is not an experience we are having. It's who we truly are beyond all the surface level experiences and identifications, the impermanent content of our experience. Every time we dip below the definitions that we hold of ourselves, there's always this open space of being. Meditation is the art of letting go. And the letting go gives us access to a far more fundamental dimension of being. And with it, we're accessing our true nature, the inner silence behind all the noise and activity of the mind is itself the access point or portal to our essential being. The vast, timeless interconnectedness. Returning again and again to our essential being, letting go of who we think we are. Remembering that resting in our essential being is not something that the personal will or the ego does. It's what's revealed when we step back from our fascination with the content of our experience. The silence and stillness serves as an access point to our essential being, the gateway to our inherent wholeness and the interconnectedness of all things. From this place, we step beyond the limitations of our personal identity. We tap into really a universal consciousness that transcends the individual. It's as simple as recognizing this presence in the background and abiding there, kind of resting in that recognition. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate or special. It's a simple recognition again and again.